Something really big is coming, and this past week dropped some big clues. Democrat demi-god Robert Mueller fell flat on his face during the congressional hearing about the special counsel investigation into President Trump allegedly colluding with the Russians to steal the 2016 presidential election.
Welcome, everyone, to the last gasp of the Russia collusion conspiracy theory. Like the Loch Ness Monster, they insist it's there, even if no one can find it.
The finding indicates that the president was not exculpatory.
It's starting to look like, having desperately tried and failed to make a legal case against the president, you made a political case instead. You put it in a paper sack, lit it on fire, dropped it on our porch, rang the doorbell, and ran.
Once again, the Democrats are outmaneuvered, exposing their own twisted logic.
Did you actually totally exonerate the president?
No.
Now, in fact, your reports expressly states that it does not exonerate the president.
Respectfully, Director, it was not the special counsel's job to conclusively determine Donald Trump's innocence or to exonerate him, because the bedrock principle of our justice system is a presumption of innocence. Presumption of innocence. And because there is a presumption of innocence, prosecutors never, ever need to conclusively determine it.
Mueller's answers to specific questions asked by Republican members of the House were indicators that the Attorney General and Inspector General's investigations of Mueller's investigation is catching up and nipping at his heels.
Well, what I think is missing here is the fact that this is under investigation elsewhere. I'm not going to discuss other matters. No, there was an IG investigation ongoing.
And thank goodness for that. That's exactly what the Attorney General and John Durham are doing. They're going to find out why we went through this three-year saga and get to the bottom of it.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
A federal judge recently chastised Mueller and the DOJ for stating that the Russian government was behind election year social media trolling when there is no evidence presented. Oops.
Why did you suggest Russia was responsible for the troll farms when in court you've been unable to produce any evidence to support it?
Well, I'm not going to get into that any further than I already have.
In fact, the judge considered holding prosecutors in criminal contempt. She backed off only after your hastily called press conference the next day in which you retroactively made the distinction between the Russian government and the Russia troll farms. Did your press conference of May 29th have anything to do with the threat to hold your prosecutors in contempt the previous day for publicly misrepresenting the evidence?
Who needs evidence when you operate with the presumption of guilt, right? We all know the Russians were behind it because that's what the media told us, right?
This nightmare presidency of Donald John Trump will end prematurely and end soon.
But at this point, you're confident that at least some Trump associates will wind up in jail?
If I was betting, I would say yes.
The bombshell burst Tuesday evening when CNN reported the president-elect and President Obama were briefed on the matter last week.
Did the Trump campaign, did the candidate at the heart of it, conspire with Russia to subvert American democracy? And does Russia have some kind of leverage over Donald Trump?
If this BuzzFeed News report is true, then we are likely on our way to possible impeachment proceedings.
Well, I guess Trump's right. It really is a witch hunt, because in a witch hunt, you're guilty until proven innocent. But unfortunately for the Democrats, that's not how this works, and Mueller had to be reminded of that several times. And right when you thought the Democrats couldn't be any more entertaining, Nancy Pelosi pulled the cane and announced a 6-week recess for the House of Representatives. Vacation time! They're all out of here. What, are they taking a hiatus? Because they're all worried and panicking that the Mueller report didn't pan through, and now they're trying to figure out where to attack Trump next?
In your most holy name, I now cast out all spirits of darkness from this chamber, spirits not from you.
Well, Nancy Pelosi couldn't help but drop the hint at their press conference after the Mueller report bombed that they're now going to be looking into combing through Trump's finances to see what other nuggets they could possibly try to find and exploit.
Where we're going next, because as you know, the Mueller investigation could not do the president's personal or business connections, and one of those connections could be to the Russians, and that's what we want to find out. Could be.
Why? Because the Democrats have nothing to run on other than impeach Orange Man bad. Maybe Nancy and the squad can mend their differences and get the party together again after they get back from their vacay. Just in time for Attorney General Barr, U.S. Attorney Durham, and Inspector General Horowitz to conclude their own investigations into the whole Russia collusion delusion. It should all come to a crescendo by Labor Day.
I think that we'll get the IG's report probably sometime right after Labor Day. I think John Durham just got started, but I think there's a lot to look at there. I think there was a lot that you saw the special counsel wouldn't answer today because it was in the purview and under the investigation of John Durham as the new special counsel.
So buckle up, deplorables. We are about to see the unraveling of the biggest scandal in U.S. history. Watch out, Watergate, because this one's coming to take the prize. And I have a little spoiler. It's not going to be Trump in the hot seat. But can you trust the mainstream media to cover it, or the social media giants not to censor it? If you want to support this kind of reporting, please go to Millennial Millie on Subscribestar. I need all the support I can get because I'm going to be gearing up to cover election season 2020. This is going to be huge. We will be touring around the United States covering both the Democrats and President Trump, the frontrunner for the Republican Party. So please go to Subscribestar and subscribe to my channel. Or you can go directly to InfoWarsStore.com to purchase high-quality nutraceuticals, gear, and supplements to help support InfoWars during this fight for our country. We need you personally to continue to support the info war so that we can continue to provide honest reporting, real new coverage, and most importantly, election coverage during the 2020 presidential election. Our nation is on the line. We need your help more than ever. This is Millie Weaver signing off.
Hey, what happens if you try to order your favorite InfoWars Life product only to find out they're sold out? Yeah, I know it kind of sucks, but there is a solution. All you got to do is go to InfoWarsStore.com and click on Auto Ship. Bam! Problem solved just like that. And now you're scheduled for regular delivery. That means no more back orders, and you'll never run out of your favorite InfoWars Life products again. Pretty cool. But guess what? It gets better. When you sign up for Auto Ship at InfoWarsStore.com, you get an additional 10% off that product. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. So what are you waiting for? Support the InfoWar. Order and click on Auto Ship at InfoWarsStore.com or call 1-888-253-3139.